If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you.
You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with our host, Gary Anderson.
And we are back with our guest, David Oman. And, how's it feel to live, near that location? I mean, what type of vibes do you get?
Well, I have to say that it's not that bad, but there's certainly, more or less a lot of tourists that have been coming up here for the past, what is this? We're in November now, so we're going back to past 5 months. There's just been the utmost amount of, as you say, just the utmost amount of uptick in people coming up here. It's just amazing the amount of things the amount of people that have come here in the amount of time that this place has been here. I'd say we've had more people here, and I've been here now 20 years. We had more people here in the past 5 months than I've had in the previous 19 years and more. That's how many, it's amazing. Literally every day there's probably been about 10 to 20 cars coming up recently as the release of the DVD just came out or is coming out, and people have just been flocking here, and they drive up, and I see all these different out-of-state license plates, which is hysterical because you have Wisconsin, Florida, New York, and I go, my God, they drove all this way. And some of the funniest things that I've seen is they get about 200 feet from the, maybe 150 feet, 200 feet from the gate, right before they get to my house, and they stop. And then they look around, they go, if they see it's a dead end, there's nothing there, it's just a big gate, and then they turn around my driveway. If I'm out, I'll go, excuse me. I said, you guys are going to look for the Sharon Tate house, aren't you? And they go, yeah, where it was. I said, let me see. He said, I look at the license plate, and I go calculate how many miles, estimate. It's like, I said, you're from Florida. I said, you mean you drove 2,500 miles, and you got all this way, and you're not going to go the last 200 feet? I said, what are you doing? I said, you're killing me. I said, I don't know if I have to encourage you, but I said, I think about the fact that you've driven all this way across the country. You're here where you finally want to be, and you want to see it, and the cosmic letdown is that it's just this. I said, go drive down and turn around at the end of the driveway if you're going to see it. I said, you drove all that way, but you're not going to close the last 200 feet? I said, Jesus. So that's one of the most interesting things that I've had to deal with up here. And people look at me and say, wait a second, I've seen you on Ghost Adventures or My Ghost Story or Paranormal Witness. And I go, yeah. He goes, you still live here? It's like, yeah. And they go, you serious? I said, yeah. And sometimes I've brought the people in off the street that were driving up through the house, and they go, oh, my God. I said, this is amazing. I remember when Zach Baggins, I said, yeah, we won't go there, I tell them. And they go, why? I said, I told them the whole story, that the guy managed 3 hours in here and ran out like a chicken, scared to death. So I said, that's pretty much the sum total of it with people coming up here. So far, they've been really nice people. They're very, as we say, they're very, very curious. And here's the thing is, my neighbors go ballistic, the two neighbors next to and I said to them, you bought your property knowing fully well that it's down the street from where the murders took place. The analogy I come up with, I said, it's like buying a piece of real estate near an airport and then bitching about the planes flying over. I said, it comes with the territory. I said, furthermore, when I inquired with you guys to put up a gate at the bottom of the driveway, everybody said yes except for one person. I didn't see any one of you people outside of me try to convince him to go along with putting up a gate at the bottom of the driveway. So don't sit there and hearken back that you're upset that people are driving up here when a year ago they were shooting the movie and you didn't say much, you didn't figure there was going to be. It's like, I don't know if you are buried in the sand or just not thinking, but you don't seem to make a connection between Quentin Tarantino shooting a movie on your driveway and the Sharon Tate murders and thinking that, gee, next year's the 50th anniversary, and there's going to be a hell of a lot of publicity and traffic that's going to be coming up here as a result, and we don't have a gate at the bottom of the driveway. And I just look at them going, you people are stupid, because there's nothing you can do but figure the fallout from your actions. You either do something and stop the hemorrhaging, or you do not do something and you do not stop the hemorrhaging. I said, but either way, you have to deal with it. If you don't do this, then you're going to have this happen. And if you do this, you won't have this happen. What more is there, I said to them. And it's just, it's almost like they enjoy the prospect of being able to raise their ire and get upset.
Now, how about weird things happening in the neighborhood? I mean, is there a lot of, anything going on ongoing?
Well, I don't know about the neighborhood. I know about my house. There's tons of stuff that happens here. I've got 19 1080p CCTV 3-megapixel HD cameras with infrared and with audio, with mics throughout the entire house. So, literally stuff happens when I'm not even expecting. I'm not, looking for it overtly. It just happens. And it's like, oh, I heard that. As a matter of fact, I had my podcast last night, and at 8:03 last night when I was talking to them, we all had this funny sound. My listeners heard it, and so did I, and I have to go review the footage on the cameras to see what it was. But it's like, I hate to say it, but after a while, you get used to it, and you kind of figure, it's there. I'm a human. There's spirit. There's not a lot of overlay on the times that we actually interact, and when it does happen, there's nothing I can do to stop it. It's not like I know it, like there's a clock and it's like countdown to the next incident. I don't have a heads up on it, but it's like you got to roll with the punches, as my mother used to say. Unlike my dog who keeps on standing up and walking around on the hardwood floors, I keep on trying to stand up and tell her to sit down and lie it down and stop it, Fee. Come on, you're making noise. So, I have more control over my pets than I would say, and including my cats, than I could ever think or imagine that I could ever have over a spirit.
Well,
and that's why I said, when it happens, it's like, okay, I call them out. It's not that I don't call them out on it. I just am saying I can't do anything to impact them or to get them to acquiesce. I can try, but for the most part, it's hit and miss. Let's be realistic and honest.
Well, what type of things are going on at your house?
Okay, let's see. Faucets turn on by themselves. Televisions turn on by themselves. Doors lock by themselves, including, most importantly, the top floor bathroom where you have only one bathroom, and if other not, you're going to be traveling down the staircase and about 40, 50 feet around to the bottom as you snake around to get to a bathroom in one of the bedrooms that's on the second floor. So it's kind of like, I got to go to the bathroom. It's like, okay, I run to the bathroom and the door is locked, and it's like, you sons of, oh, you really, and then I have to run back to the kitchen, find a butter knife so I can pop the lock, and then go back and go about doing my business. That kind of stuff is let's see, they knock the figurines over off the aquarium. We have disembodied voices that are recorded speaking, and sometimes in direct relation to something that's said or reacting to it. Apparitions have been seen here of Sharon Tate and Jay Sebring. The usual cold spots. Sometimes in certain parts of the house, you'll feel pressure around your sinuses and around your head for no reason, heaviness around your chest. Recently, a few people that have been here have reported saying they feel like somebody was pushing a pressure upon their shoulders, like somebody had two hands, one on each side of their shoulders, and pushing them down into the ground. I said, you're being pushed. I said, son of a gun. I said, you know who else said that? Katrina Weidman, who was here 4 years ago this February, and with Nick Roth. I said, she's made the same exact comment. I've got it on video, and it's amazing. I said, every time somebody mentions that to me, it's like, son of a gun. Let's go check another mark on the box of how many times that's happened in the house. So, nothing threatening, in some cases, well, in an extreme case, like with Zach Baggins, they basically threw the son of a, out of the house. They didn't have much time or interest or or desire for him to be present in this home. And to this day, he claims that I'm a poltergeist agent and that I'm possessed. Yet we notice that every episode of Ghost Adventures, he's seeming to universally self-possess and get self-possessed, and to the point where I believe it's time that he was repossessed. He's become such a drama possession queen. I swear, it's just enough.
Now, hey, James, do you got some questions to ask David?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Hit it. Let's throw them up.
Okay. Have you ever caught any EVPs in there of, say, Sharon Tate or anybody else that you knew of that was maybe died on the land?
Well, nobody died on the land, literally. This house sits, like I said, I'm like 150 feet down from where her property stood. But we've got, and what I'm realizing now is EVPs are really stuff that's created through the Frank's box, the Spirit box, the Echo box. Technically speaking, what I've got are disembodied voices recorded with the assistance of no intermediary device. These are just literally voices that are recorded in the house when we're walking around and somebody says, "Did you hear that?" It's like, "Yeah, I heard something." And we go and we review the footage, and sure enough, there's a voice of somebody whispering in the background. It's like, okay, who was that? Because it wasn't one of us. And in one case, we actually have a recording of this little girl. I call her Gwendolyn because one of the first psychics that was here said her name was Gwendolyn. It's like, okay, I'll go with that. And what's funny is she chimed in during one of the visits by James Oster with JoeBlow.com and Arrow in the Head. And I'm right now looking for that clip that I can play you the voice of Gwendolyn speaking in commentary, funny enough, to what James was saying. And what James was saying was, I've been to David's house many times, and strange things have happened here. And it's like, right after he says that, there's the voice of this little girl saying, "Here's one." And it's like, what? Who the? What the? How the? And it's like, no, that didn't just happen. So that's what I'm looking for right now. And while I'm looking for that, why don't you ask me another question? I'll be happy to answer.
Okay, what's the scariest thing that you've experienced in your home?
Well, to a lot of people, seeing an apparition for the first time would probably be construed as the scariest experience one person could have. To me, it wasn't scary because at the time my mom was dying of cancer, and I thought that the person that I saw